Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about last night's Thunder versus Timberwolves matchup of two of the best teams in the Western Conference, two of the best teams in the NBA. And it was a very, very good game that I was really locked in on. So, I'm going to talk about that today. And talk about these two teams in general, but also a lot about the game from last night. So we're going to get into it. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. We're going crazy in the last few days with the subscribers and stuff and the views, so I really appreciate it a whole lot. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We're closing in. I think we're at 474 by the time I'm recording this video. So if you do like the content, hitting the subscribe button would mean a whole lot to me on the road to 500 subscribers. Link to my Twitter and TikTok, stuff like that, in the description down below. And I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So last night we were in Minnesota. Thunder, Timberwolves, battle of the number 1, number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Two teams that really took the lead by storm and surprised a lot of people this year. No one expected the Timberwolves and Thunder to be top 2 seeds in the Western Conference. Both these teams top 5 records in the NBA. Who would have thought that, right? And last night was a big game. Potential Western Conference Finals preview? Question mark? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying yes or no, but I'm just saying. Good thing is we got a fully healthy game as well. Both these teams had their players out there, and it was a very exciting game. Thunder got off to a really good start in this game. They were up 21-5 at one point. They got off to a hot start. Shea, J-Dub, obviously, Chet Holmgren a little bit in there as well. Minnesota got off to a pretty rough start offensively, but at the end of the quarter, they started finding to make their rhythm. Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, the bench. Minnesota doesn't have the greatest bench when it comes to names and stuff. But I really am a fan of Minnesota's bench. I've said it a few times, but I really like the Timberwolves bench. Naz Reid, he's a bucket getter as a center. Really fun to watch. Kyle Anderson, just that smart, high IQ veteran forward that does all the things to help teams win. Jaden McDaniel or Jordan McLaughlin. Why did I say Jaden McDaniel? Jordan McLaughlin as well. I think he's very solid. He's kind of undersized, but he does his thing. He had a little run middle, of the second quarter that gave Minnesota the lead and stuff like that. They were very good in this game. Minnesota eventually took the lead at one point, outscoring OKC 30-27 in the second quarter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander putting pressure on the rim, getting to the free throw line, as he always does, and OKC had a 3-point lead, at the halftime because Shai and Chet Holmgren also started scoring. We get to the third quarter, and Minnesota looks like they're going to take the game. Minnesota had a big third quarter. Anthony Edwards started getting involved. Rudy Gobert doing his thing on the defensive end. Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Towns, even the bench, guys like Naz Reid came in, hit back-to-back 3-pointers to make it, a big lead. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It was a big third quarter for Minnesota. They just came in and dominated. Shea wasn't getting to the free throw line, putting pressure on the rim. J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, were trying, but they weren't really making shots. OKC's bench, didn't have an amazing game as well either. And Minnesota came out, had a big third quarter, again led by Naz Reid, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Minnesota took a 9-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And then they started the fourth quarter off well with Anthony Towns getting a few shots, and it was like, all right, OKC needs to step on the gas and needs to get something to happen, and they did. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren had a big dunk as well to make it a 4-point game. Shai then had his little bag. We got to the free throw line, then hit a nice turnaround jumper, tied the game at 90 with 3 minutes left, and the last 3 minutes were really good. It was very grinded out. It wasn't a whole lot of points scored in the last few minutes, but it was a grinded out, tough game between two of the best defenses as well in the league. Minnesota, of course, number 1. OKC hovering around the top 5. I don't know where they are exactly right now, but they're hovering around that top 5 range. And Anthony Edwards got to the rim, hit a big layup. Shea hit a nice step back 3, came down the court and just stepped back, took the 3 because he was getting to the free throw line in the fourth quarter as well. He was using that to kind of be like, all right, they're gonna think I'm gonna drive and get to the free throw line, but I'm just gonna step back and hit a 3. And Shea's not a elite 3-point shooter or anything like that, but when it's that fourth quarter, and it's time to do it. Shai is one of the best at taking over in the clutch. Then next, Rudy Gobert got fouled. Isaiah Joe is a good foul, makes 1 of 2. Then Chet misses a little pull-up jumper where they kind of ran a play for him. Shai didn't get the ball at that point, which is very interesting. I think they were trying to decoy, and they usually do that with J-Dub because Jalen Williams came down and I thought he was going to take a shot because usually in the fourth quarter, if it's not Shea, it's going to be Jalen Williams. But instead, they ran a play for Chet Holmgren kind of coming off a screen, and Chet couldn't make it a go. So Minnesota had the ball with 35 seconds left, and Mike Conley was just really short on a three ball. Mike Conley did not have a great shooting night. He was 1 for 11, 1 for 9 from three, and missed a huge three-pointer right there. Thunder get the ball, foul. J-Dub makes both free throws, but still in a three-point game. 15 seconds left. Naz Reid comes in, gets a layup called goaltending, makes it a 1-point game. The other end, Isaiah Joe gets fouled, hits 2 free throws. The Minnesota Timberwolves have the ball with 6 seconds left. They inbound it. They do like a little handoff play. They give it to Mike Conley. He shovels it to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is coming down, pulls up a wild three, but 3 seconds left, and he gets fouled by Lu Dort. Lu Dort was too close. I think it was the legs, because Anthony Edwards also did kind of jump really weird. He kind of was on the side. His legs were flailing around, but they called a foul. Anthony Edwards went to the free throw line for three free throws to tie the game up. He misses the first, and it's oh, dang. Well, he can still hit 2. They're still only down by, 1 point. They can foul again. Misses the second, and that one was just oh, man. Anthony Edwards, who is a really good free throw shooter, just couldn't get it to go. He was 6 for 7 at that point. And missed the first 2, and now he had to intentionally miss the third. He did miss the third, but it went off the backboard, didn't hit the rim. Thunder get the ball, get fouled, and the Thunder eventually end up winning this game 102-97. A really good game. Looking at team stats, both teams didn't have great shooting nights. OKC is one of the more better shooting teams efficiency-wise in the league. They shot just 40% from the field. They were 8 for 24 from 3. They were 30 for 35 from the free throw line. They did miss a couple free throws late in the fourth quarter. But yeah, their efficiency wasn't great. Minnesota shot 41% from the field. They hit 14 threes, shot 38%, but they were 21 for 29 from the free throw line, leaving 8 points on the board. Especially a couple by Anthony Edwards. It was tough. OKC was forcing a lot of turnovers too. OKC forced 21 Minnesota Timberwolves turnovers. A lot of them were early in the game in the first quarter. I think OKC was really dominating on the fast break points and points off turnovers and stuff. OKC had just 8 turnovers. The assists were very close. Minnesota out-rebounded OKC 50-37. OKC's not a great rebounding team, and Minnesota, of course, has Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. But yeah, OKC had 12 steals in this game. Yeah, it was a really good one against 2 really, really good teams. Shea finishes with 33 points, 6 assists. He shot 10 for 22, 12 for 13 from the free throw line, hit that big three-pointer as well. Just adding to his MVP case. He's legitimately in the MVP conversation because OKC is one of the best teams in the league. And last night he put on a great performance. Jalen Williams, I love what Jalen Williams has done this season. He's averaging 20 and 5. He put up 20 and 5 with 3 steals. Shot 6 for 18. Not a great efficiency game for J-Dub, who's one of the more efficient players in the league. Chet Holmgren 15 and 5 with 2 blocks in this one. Lu Dort had 14 and 5. He had a couple big 3-pointers as well. They didn't really get much help from anyone else. So the bench didn't really have great games. Isaiah Joe had a couple big free throws late in this one. But the bench didn't really provide a whole lot for OKC, which their bench has been pretty solid this year. But the good thing is their defense. OKC's defense really held in, I was really impressed by their defense. Even though Minnesota's offense is not amazing, numbers-wise and stuff, but still, OKC's defense really came in. They forced a lot of turnovers, made it cluttered up for Minnesota a little bit, and that's kind of a big reason why they won this game was just forcing turnovers. When you force 21 turnovers, got a really good chance of winning, even though they didn't really shoot the ball well efficiency-wise in the half court because Minnesota's defense is amazing in the half court. But forcing turnovers to get out in transition and scoring, that's a big way. That's a way you could win against this Minnesota Timberwolves team. But yeah, the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, 19, 5, and 5, shot 6 for 10 with 6 for 10 for the free throw line. Karl-Anthony Towns also had 19 and 11. He was only 4 for 10, but he shot 10 for 10 for the free throw line. He also fouled out late in this game as well. Naz Reid, 18 points, hit 4 threes off the bench. He had 4 blocks. Just being amazing. He might be the best backup center in the NBA. Might be. Who else would be in there? Al Horford would be in there. Mo Wagner, I think, would be in there. He's been really good this year. I can't think of anyone else right now for best backup center, but Naz Reid is in that conversation. He's amazing. It's great that Minnesota got him back because, yeah, he's been great. I've been a fan of him ever since, he came out of LSU and was undrafted. He was undrafted, got into Minnesota. I watched him in the summer league and stuff, and I was like, you know what, this dude maybe could be something. And then he came out, slowly worked his way up more into the rotation, and now he's, at this point, just really nice to see. Jamie McDaniels as well had a good game, 15 points, was 3 for 5 from 3. Rudy Gobert, 18 rebounds. And this one, he only shot 1 for 6 in the field, which is very interesting because Rudy Gobert, he shoots 60-something% from the field because all of it is dunks. But Chet Holmgren was doing a really good job, of not letting Rudy, get easy ones. He's 5-8 for the free throw line. Didn't have a block in this game, but his defensive impact, of course, was still felt. Tough game for Mike Conley. Was 1 for 11, 1 for 9 from 3. A rare bad game from him. 3 points, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. Minus 22, the lowest in the game. That's a rare thing for Mike Conley. He's just always been the solid veteran point guard that knows what to do. Just had a tough game. We all have tough games, and he had his. But I mean, this was still a really good game. Minnesota OKC is now only 1 game behind Minnesota for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. This is gonna be a battle. I think they play one more time later this month. That's gonna be one I'm gonna be interested to see as well. But after that, I don't think they play the rest of the year, which is very interesting because I think they're in the same division, so they should. I don't know. That's weird, but it was still a really good game. Shout out to OKC for a great win. They're gritty grind. They won a game with kind of grit and grind. They've been doing that a little bit this year as well. Minnesota, still really good defensively, amazing. Could clean some things up on the offensive end. They definitely need to. Sometimes it definitely gets a little bit too all right, Anthony Edwards do something for us, or Karl Anthony Towns do something for us and stuff like that. So I think they probably could clean things up a little bit more. But they're still a really good team, and both these teams are. 2 young teams that are kind of taking the league by storm a little bit. And I'm very interested to see how the rest of the season plays out for both of these teams, because it looks like right now they're probably going to, barring a big injury or barring a big, cold streak or something like that, these 2 teams are going to be at the top of the Western Conference by the end of the season. Maybe not 1 and 2, but they're going to be up in the top. They're probably going to have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Both these teams are. And these are 2 teams definitely a lot of people are talking about and how they're going to fare in the playoffs because they don't really have a lot of experience. They're both good teams, but they're not very experienced playoff teams. Usually teams like that, a lot of people don't believe in, and usually they are teams that do get bounced a little bit. But, I'm going to be very interested to see how that goes, because I feel like these 2 teams have chances to win in the first round. Maybe could do some great things. I don't know. We got to see. We got to just wait to see how things play out. That's still so far down the line. We still have a couple months before that happens. But last night's game, really, really good game from both these teams. Fun game to watch, and OKC prevails. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, also like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.